2020 hasn't had a whole ton to celebrate, but recently the internet's been given some good news. There's rumors of a Gangnam Style 2 coming out, so you can get ready to see every 40-plus-year-old hitting some of these bad boys again and getting all kinds of parodies from high school students and shit floating around. And, above all else, we were just given an incredible gift. Belle Delphine's back. Now, if you've been on the internet for at least a year, you're familiar with who Belle Delphine is or was. She was basically the internet's first massive e-girl. I said it on Twitter and I'll say it again. Belle Delphine is like the Nikola Tesla of simp technology. She basically invented simps and then discovered innovative ways of using them. Even if you haven't directly tugged your magic meat to Belle Delphine, you felt her impact on the internet. She was the girl that sold her bathwater and it all sold out in minutes. The one that was dunking her ass like a baby getting baptized in her bathtub and then sold that water that people would drink, sniff, and give themselves enemas with. That was Belle Delphine. She really was an actual pioneer when it came to simps. She created that entire species of the simp. And while I, as a simp epidemiologist, believe the term simp is a bit outdated and quite tired, I'd prefer if we started drifting to other nomenclature, because simp is just getting used to fucking death. It's important when talking about Belle Delphine to mention the simps, because that's what they are, that's what she's created. And no one's even come close to it. All the other e-girls that have tried to capitalize on this field are simply borrowing it from her. They're like the Thomas Edison trying to, steal the patent that Belle Delphine has created. She was able to make, rumored, up to like $100,000 a month just from Patreon, all without ever releasing a single nude photo. There's no pictures of her beef curtains or even nipples or anything like that. She's never goat-seed, all just lewd photos. But she was selling hope to these men for about a year. They'd wake up every morning hoping, today's the day. Today's the day I see Belle Delphine's chocolate starfish, and it never came. And then, at the height of her popularity, when the simps needed her most, she vanished. She's like the Avatar, master of all four elements of virgin men. She remained off the internet for about a year, with no reason as to why, no updates, just kept everyone in the dark. You had all these men with this money they couldn't give to Belle Delphine, so what good was the money? It was Belle's money, they were simply keeping it warm for her, but they couldn't give it to her. They were lost. But luckily, Belle Delphine has come back stronger than ever. She released a video saying, she's back, she has this incredible song from the exact same artist who made the OK Boomer song, by the way, so it's a nice full circle since the OK Boomer girl Nico came and became, kind of like Belle Delphine's version 2. Just as popular, just as many simps, started an entire simp war on Twitter that we covered, so it's fitting that Belle Delphine would come back to a similar song by the same artist, so that was a very good choice, I'd say. And she's made an OnlyFans, her Instagram's back, she's back on YouTube, and the people are elated. It's back to business as usual now for a lot of these men who have been disenfranchised for the last year since their queen had left them. Belle Delphine was gone. They didn't know what the fuck to do anymore. Some of these guys were actually saving money, if you can even fucking believe that. But anyway, this brings me to what I actually found extremely interesting about Belle Delphine's return, is how loyal simps are. The second she came back, she immediately got like thousands of people signing up to her OnlyFans, so she's just immediately right back on the saddle again, using simps in ways no one else has been able to do. She's making so much off the back of the same simps from over a year ago. Probably now more than ever, since, they've had a year worth of stockpiling money, just like fucking doomsday preppers. Like, what if the e-girl apocalypse comes upon us and Belle Delphine rides again? I have to have all this money for her. I have to make sure that I'm ready. I think when it comes to the internet, there's really two areas that you can kind of speed run financial security through. One of them is by drawing furry porn. I've said this a million times. If you have any amount of artistic talent and you need some money, I'd always recommend drawing furry porn as like a side hustle. You don't even have to use your real name. You can just make some shit up like, Sir Springle of Discord HQ's Furry Porn Emporium or something, and you just commission work that way, because furry porn is always high in demand and people are paying a pretty penny for it. So you can make a ton of fat stacks doing that with very limited effort, even limited talent, because they're not very picky when it comes to the quality of the furry porn that they buy. And then the second way is by just being good looking. If you're attractive on the internet, money just gets thrown at you. It's fucking wild. Like, you don't even have to do anything. Sometimes dudes just reach out on Twitter asking to give money. They're called pay pigs. they like to be insulted and called their, little piggies for money. I'm just a piggy bank for this lady. It's so fucking crazy. It's girls that don't even ask for it. For those that don't know, I've talked about pay pigs before, but pay pigs are dudes that mainly hang out on Twitter that seek out good looking girls that aren't even doing anything. Like, it's just a girl who has a profile picture that they find attractive. They DM and ask if they can send her money and be insulted. And so they do. And then, of course, there's the obvious one like OnlyFans, where you don't even have to sell naked photos of yourself. You just take fully clothed pictures and put them on OnlyFans, and dudes will sign up for tons of money for a long time. Just hanging on to that thread of hope that what if one day she releases a nude? And that's enough. That's enough for them. I have nothing against dudes that do that, by the way. I think, whatever makes you happy. A lot of men are happy just signing up to Belle Delphine's non-nude OnlyFans. That's good enough for them. It puts a smile on their face and a boner in their pants. All power to them. And yeah, that's really about it. I found Belle Delphine's return pretty interesting, pretty much because I'm always fascinated by like simping and simping culture, I suppose. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about it. That's about it. See ya.